While you may know Star Trek, this is not the Star Trek you know. Who are these people, and what are they doing on Kirk's ship?
The crew of the USS Enterprise, headed by Captain Christopher Pike, is smarting after a battle on Rigel 7. On the way to tend to their wounded, they are sidelined by an old signal from the USS Columbia, lost some 18 years ago. Now, 18 years is a long time, and Pike figures there's no one at the other end anymore, but a second call comes through, so away they go to Talos 4, the source of the transmission. Upon arriving, the crew are amazed to find a handful of survivors, most elderly, but one a beautiful young woman named Vina. Suddenly, the Columbia crew disappear and Captain Pike finds himself separated from his own crew, now trapped by the Talosians in essentially a zoo cage. Appearing at his side sporadically is Vina, who explains that the Talosians are their keepers, who can dole out punishment or reward based on how well they accept their captivity. The plus side here is huge. Anything Pike can dream can be manifested, anything from being back on Earth to being a powerful slave trader, and it's made to feel real. There is a downside, though. He is still just a rat in a cage. The Talosians have devolved from a point of supreme power to a weak and insular class, only unbounded by their mental powers. They explain that they will rely on their captive specimens to help repair machinery, explore, and reattain their will. Vina is also there as a specimen to help Pike add to the population. There's a heavy voyeuristic bent to their needs, from the merely practical to the vicarious experience of their inmates' emotional lives. While Pike is plotting his escape, the Enterprise crew are devising a way to break through, but their massive laser cannon bounces off the Talosian jail, leaving Pike trapped. The crew makes a second attempt to save the captain, this time by teleporting into the Talosian stronghold, but the Talosians anticipate this and hijack the transporter, leaving the men aboard the Enterprise and adding to the female human stock. Pike's attempts to enter a moral debate with the Talosians fall short. He expresses humanity's need to be free, but they would just rather he get along with the business of being in his cage and doing what they tell him to do. So agitated, Pike realizes that his violent, base emotions are too primitive for the Talosians to comprehend, and he does manage to make a leap and throttle one of his captors. Back on the surface, Pike's hostage now reveals that the laser cannon did break through, and in fact, much more of what has been occurring is mere illusion. The Talosians have also scanned the computers of the Enterprise and find, to their surprise, that humans don't like being in cages. Even if they're really swank cages with fetching companions, great food and drink, or at least the illusion of it, and whatever surroundings they choose, provided they're willing to look beyond the fact that ultimately those surroundings are in a cage. Plus, the humans were about to kill themselves rather than being turned into well-treated slaves, so there's that too. In a final reveal, Vina is seen for who she really is, a haggard, misshapen version of herself who survived the Columbia wreck but couldn't be cared for by the Talosians. She's living her life only through the illusions provided to her.